ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chop Talk. I am your co-host, 2/3 Andre C. And right over here is the wonderful, awesome Princess Melball. How you doing, Melball?
I'm doing great, Andre. I had a fun day at the gym today. Renovations, renovate on. But because of the renovations, is really deterring people from coming to the gym. So it's been nice and quiet for me. I had a really nice back day today, and I didn't have to fight for any machines. It was glorious.
That is a positive.
That is a positive. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I was out and about today. I went and drove 3 different cars today. 4 if you include the car I was driving to places with. I'm looking for a new vehicle, so I went and test drove 3 cars today. It was nice.
Excellent. Excellent. Did we find one?
I've got more ideas about what I want. Now just trying to find the best cars with the best prices. So
Always the hard part, right?
yeah, it really is.
But we're not here to talk about cars.
Are we not?
Are we not? No. I'm sure there's a wrestler out there who likes cars, though. But
I bet you there is.
alas, I
John
bet you
Cena.
there is too.
John Cena's really into cars.
Is Dalton Rogue?
Yeah, I think he didn't. I swear he had a car detailing business at one point, but I could be wrong.
Asking the wrong girl about that.
I'm pretty sure I saw it on Facebook, post about it on
No
Facebook at one
shit.
point. The things we know about professional wrestling.
Yes. Some things I wish I didn't know. Andre, I tell you. What a show, though. We got to see Kurt Angle.
Sorry, the things you've told me that you know about professional
I
wrestling
mean,
that disturb me.
they disturbed me to know as well, my friend. They disturbed me as well. We saw Kurt Angle, though.
Yes. Yeah. One of us did get to, not you, one of us, but one of our horde did get to see him up close.
Yes.
But the rest of us did not because we didn't pay for the meet and greet part.
I mean, we were front row. We were close enough.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know our boy Adam did get to did do the meet and greet and met Mr. Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
And Kurt Angle held up an "I'm with Dave" sign for our boy Malcolm. So
I love Malcolm. Miss you.
we love you, Malcolm. But that we are here to talk about Top Talent Pro Wrestling. Before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys. Thank you for tuning in here on Chop Talk over here on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk or Backbreaker Video, wherever you are watching. We do appreciate wherever you're watching it. So thank you so very much. Whether you're watching on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, whether you're watching on Backbreaker Video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below because we love talking to you. We want to hear from you. We want to hear what you loved about the professional wrestling that we love, and or what you hate about the professional wrestling that we love, or what you hate about me, but not what you hate about Mel because we don't want to hear that. You just you can hate on me. You love on her, you hate on me. Simple as that.
Appreciate that.
That's how it works. You love on her, you hate on me. That's how we do it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So don't forget to share us out to your friends, family, and just annoying people who don't give you the answers you need when you're trying to get information about a car. And also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Story time with 2/3 Andre C. If you are selling a car and somebody messages you, "Hey, can you send me ask you about a car?" and somebody asks you for the Carfax report, which gives you general information if there's been accidents and other things about a car. Don't just say random bullshit to them. Send them a link to the Carfax or tell them no. One of the two. Because getting a runaround for somebody makes me want to punch you and not do business with you. Either tell me you can or cannot do what I'm asking, or F off. One of the two. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So we're here to talk Top Talent Professional Wrestling, which we were at this past Friday night here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, featuring WWE TNA star and Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle and ROH and AEW's own the Beast Mortos.
Yeah, I was really excited.
Yeah,
I
me
was
too.
excited for Mortos, just because like I've seen him a lot, especially recently, all over his socials, all over TV. Like super, super excited. Something I'm a little disappointed about, though. We were talking about this before we went on. Is how little advertising there was for this show in regards to the other people that were involved
Mhm.
in the show. Every
Yeah.
advertisement I saw was either a video of Kurt Angle or just a picture of Kurt Angle or old promo pics of the wrestlers put on top talent, that new color, whatever this month's color was,
Mhm.
on poster. And it disappoints me because like I said, the place was packed. It was packed. So, what happened to make it packed, or could have been packed? What's been done to ensure that those people are going to be coming in December?
Mhm.
Um, there was a distinct lack of continuity happening between the shows. There's apparently things going on, but unless you're, a hardcore person like us and following everything and following them, following the organizations and the wrestlers and really hoping, praying, and sacrificing to the gods that we get something, we didn't have anything going into this match or to the show from anyone other than Harlan Abbott, and it was his annual unaliving of himself. I've never seen someone
Yeah.
battle with their personality so much. My goodness. Just
Yeah.
yearly, just so like I'll say this. I like the new look at the one promo we got. Which, Harlan Abbott's evolved into something different, and we'll talk about it more when we get to his match, because it is a very interesting angle.
Oh,
I know.
I got problems with that, by the way. But we'll talk
Oh,
about it.
okay. Okay, we'll crack that open when we get there. My question is, who is everybody else? If someone was a first-time viewer coming to Top Talent and exploring Top Talent before coming to the show, what do they know about the Payten Rylie connection? Well, probably nothing. They probably don't know that, she spat in her face and suddenly she's hypnotized. They probably don't know that Rylie was teaming with Kat Von Hees before this and that, this has been a boiling over problem. They probably didn't know about, Alex Explosion. They probably didn't know about
Who?
Fusion. Like, that's the thing. We had really cool content coming out from Weston and Gussy for a time there, and that just kind of seems to have halted. I'm a little disappointed because this content and the talent that they have is actually really cool. They have some
Mhm.
really interesting and different and unique characters, like Payton, like Weston King, like Rayden. Now they have that little prospector dude, and they got that.
Oh, Wes.
They
Yeah.
got Yeah, they got Eli. They have that Aussie dude who will also have to have a conversation about.
Chris
They
Knight.
got
Yeah.
all kinds of really cool talent. And you got Andy Anderson in the main event with the love of my freaking life, Mitch Clarke. And we didn't even get a promo out of Andy for this show.
Mhm.
What the?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed. There is ways that you can turn those people who are coming just to see Kurt Angle for this show, because let's be honest, a lot of people did just come to see Kurt
Mhm.
Angle and Mortos. Um, but there's ways that you can convert these people into viewers, but also, the promotion's job is to promote the wrestlers. The wrestlers' job is also to promote the wrestlers. Why are these incredible talents not building themselves and testing themselves with this incredible opportunity? You're on Triller, for fuck's sake.
Mhm.
Like, act like you're worthy of being there. Showcase yourself. Because if
Well,
AEW is the goal, do AEW things.
it's just as a point of comparison, and again, I know it's not the same thing. The money levels are not the same thing. But
Mhm.
this weekend, I watched two incredible events from Maple Leaf
Mhm.
Pro. Yes, there's again, I understand there's not the same money investment in top talent that there's in Maple Leaf Pro. Again, Scott D'Amore has backers. He's running this company with a lot of history. It's very different.
100%.
But leading into that show, I saw promos from multiple people that were on that card trying to sell me to watch this random independent wrestling show that, yes, had some big names on it, but they were selling me by having these people cut promos. And then even after the Saturday show, there was a Giselle Shaw promo that came out on Sunday, and other people dropping promos on Sunday just to promote the matches for the Sunday show. So, like, just give me promos leading up, because again, it gets me more invested. That's one of my favorite professional wrestler right now in Alberta independent wrestling is Kamikaze, because he drives me to come in by every show he does in this area. He makes me want to go see shows that are not even in my area, because he's constantly putting out promos. He's entertaining as hell. Give me, like, I like getting that. I like being sold on something before I go and set foot in a show, personally.
100%. 100%. Lethbridge has never looked so good in making the trip down there just to see whatever Kamikaze is doing. And like, just a point of reference, I find it odd that Kamikaze has not been featured on Top Talent, especially with how much work he actually does and how much promotion he actually does for himself. It is very odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's move on from this bad boy and into the actual wrestling, because we got stuff to talk about.
So we're gonna we the show Top Talent featuring Kurt Angle and the Beast Mortos. I realized I didn't grab the one that had Kurt Angle and the Beast Mortos on it, so I apologize to the Beast Mortos. But it kicked off
He
with
probably says grunt.
it kicks off with a fatal 5-way match. It is Fusion versus Wes Barker versus Alex Explosion versus Rayden the Destroyer versus Christian Starr. Again, I'm really getting. I thought Wes Barker really sold his character pretty well last time around. Really establishing the bad guy. Rayden has done a good job to just become this company's insane powerhouse. Fusion has done just incredible things this past while. Some great promos there when he was working with Kamikaze. Christian Starr has been a mainstay of this promotion for a year. But who is Alex Explosion? Like, I saw him last time, and I know he was on the Kody shows, but I have no idea who this dude is. Like, I really don't.
Yeah, I did just see a thing that he did on his social where he like toured the Edmonton show or Edmonton horror thing, which I thought was really cool because like
Okay.
I like spooky-ish. But yeah, I again, this goes back to what we were talking about. You know, we would need to see some more self-promotion from these guys, and we need these guys to feel comfortable and say doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's maybe because like we saw them again, we saw them start doing it. Some of them start doing it, and then it just abruptly stopped. I don't know if maybe there's somebody saying don't do that or what, but like this isn't a group project. Being a professional wrestler can be a bit of a lonely road, and you got to recognize a couple of things. You got to self promote. Your social needs to be a resume, essentially.
Yeah.
So that being said, if you follow Fusion, you'll know he is a very, very active person on his socials. He posts a variety of content, and as you said, he posted a really cool promo against Kamikaze when they were having their little feud with RCW, which was a great hype up.
Mm-hmm.
Rayden also, I think if I'm not mistaken, I saw a little vignette video package also going into this show, which I thought was cool. It kind of showed off his dominance and stuff like that. Certainly was the scary one going into this match with everybody else kind of scrambling to kind of take him out.
Mm.
Yeah, Christian Starr is just again mainstay, but also a very good mainstay. I mean, he's been growing so much recently too, trying to get the crowd behind him a lot more, interacting a lot more. I really, really like what I see, and we're seeing a lot more a variety of stuff coming out on his socials as well, with some like highlight videos with his trip to Texas, and I think there's another. I can't remember what the Winnipeg place is called. I just saw it too.
Yeah.
ADHD. Yeah. Take us into whatever you have, man.
Yeah, right, the spot where everybody's attacking Rayden like one at a time though, instead of like group attack, and then they all decide to group attack him, and then he just tosses them all up, and he grabs Starr by the hair and just yeets him across the ring.
Yeah, I laughed at that a little bit because I was like, wow, that's very Bubba Watanabe of you.
Yeah, there's a spot where Starr and Wes end up on the floor, or sorry, Wes and Alex end up on the floor, and Fusion jumps over Starr in the ring, over the top rope, to a tope con hilo to the floor. It looks so good. Rayden's in the ring, and he just like picks up Starr, one hand press slams that kid over the top rope. It was so good.
It was such a great spot. I have one complaint about it, though.
What's that?
One complaint. You know, the thing that I have been just playing up RCW and LPW about is they're when they're doing their dives, everybody's in a place that makes sense. And if they're like waiting for a dive, they're not just standing there. They're meandering about and just speak into somebody, yelling at someone, play fighting. They're doing stuff until the move happens. At one point, Fusion and Alex were just kind of standing there, just with their arms on each other's biceps, like just waiting. And then Wes was actually the one who popped out and started kind of shoving them about, and then kind of looked over and saw Rayden with Starr coming towards him and went, "Oh no, no," like, and started playing it up a little bit. So Wes kind of went into that situation to save it a little bit. What I'd like to see is Fusion and Alex kind of work on that psychology and that kind of thing of, making themselves distracted until because it takes away a little bit of the realism for me. I know that there's a certain suspension of reality that we need going into professional wrestling, but there's also a certain balance of realism that the wrestlers are supposed to give us in that process.
Yeah. Wes at one point is using prospector karate on
Yeah,
Alex in the ring. Oh my god. Whatever prospector karate is, I want to learn.
it was great. It was so great.
Oh, it was so good. It was so entertaining, his prospector karate.
Yeah.
Oh, there's just a lot of crazy spots in there. Wes and Alex try to superplex Rayden, but he slips out and does like gets them both up in the air, walks out and just power bombs the shit out of both. And then he gets up and does a dual splash, and then Fusion flies in with a springboard drop kick. Yeah, just crazy stuff. The end of this match, Starr and Rayden are up top. Starr reverses the choke slam off the top into a cutter, but then West comes off the top with an elbow drop to break it up. Starr then follows up with the superstar cutter for the win on West.
Yes. Yes. This was a really fun way to start the match. The one thing I did want to comment on was the chops between Starr and Fusion, particularly on the outside in front of us there. Holy heckin' shit. They were nasty. Like just the clap and the thud that Fusion was able to get simultaneously on Christian Starr. And Starr was answering pretty good. They were very clappy. But like, whoa, the Mexican chops from Fusion. It just yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
There was also one thing that I thought was a little odd about this was in the intros, like Sex and Candy came on and I got really excited because I love that song. I just found it a little odd that it was the Prospector song. I
Why?
don't know if that was a happy little accident or what, but like I was like, I'm really behind the Prospector character. I just thought the music was a little odd.
And everybody's like, it's supposed to be Western. I'm like, no, it's not. He's a prospector. He's not a cowboy. He's a fucking prospector. They're very
What does
different.
that have to do with Sex and Candy?
Because prospectors are about making money, about finding gold, so they can spend it on booze and
Sex
candy,
and Coke?
and sex and food. I guess that's how I assume prospectors
Jesus
do.
Christ. I mean, maybe the modern ones. I feel like the older ones would be in taverns and shit. The can girls and the saloons and
So
I
sex
don't know.
and
Maybe
booze.
I'm
So sex and booze then.
Yeah, but even still, that the cowboy hat would suggest. I don't know. Again, I'm very much behind the prospector character. I'm very much enjoying it, especially because, like in this match, I felt like he was almost the vet in there, kind of taking care of everything and making sure everything kind of held together. Because right when things almost seemed like they were going to go sideways, he would kind of be there to just kind of pull it back together. Yeah,
Yep.
I just found it a little weird, but I mean, again, good song.
Yeah.
Maybe you should
So
have seen someone else come up to it. Oh
next match,
God.
the Aussie legend Chris Knight taking on the man who the king of conspiracies, the man who thinks birds aren't real, Eli Surge.
Yes.
So
I love watching Eli.
before we start complaining, um, two things. We started chanting
Oh,
Australia is not real, and we got a good bit of the crowd to start chanting it with us. And Knight just looks out and goes, what the hell are you doing? It just looks at us and goes, what the hell? As we
welcome
chant,
to Berta.
and then at one point during this match, Knight's getting mad, and Andreas in his amazing Australian accent goes, "Oi, he's an angry Knight. He's gonna put his thumb up a butthole." Just like what? I'm like, why are you saying this?
It would oddly enough be the least disgusting thing that he probably did this match.
So,
Ugh.
yeah, Eli. There's a couple of little hat spots where the first one he just gives him a hat, and Knight puts a smoke out in the hat and crushes it up and throws it at Eli. Later, Eli's getting the 10 punches in the corner, puts a hat on for instead of the 10th punch, and then he ends up getting power bomb. Tries for the power bomb, but he ends up taking it off his head at one point and like puts water in it and throws it at Eli. Eli, okay, Mal, you pointed this one out to me. Eli did the Tam Nakano pose.
It comes out of, I think it was out of a pin attempt, and he was even kicking his feet Bushi style and everything.
Okay, with the
It's just
Bushi
like,
pose. It
it's
was the Bushi pose
adorable.
then. It was the Bushi pose
Tam does
then.
the feet thing too, though.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Again, I thought these two, when they were wrestling, had a really good match. I was just very distracted by Chris Knight constantly spitting in a napkin and going
Blowing
around
his
going
nose
and
in
then
it
going around
too.
going like this the whole time, like
He
and
was
going.
asking for a drink and asking for a light despite having or a cigarette, sorry. Throughout the entire match, I was like, it's cheap heat. I understand the purpose behind it. I just would have liked to see a little bit more variety.
Yeah. And I don't know. And then he kept spitting in a napkin and then putting it back in his pocket. And I'm like, what
Yeah.
are you doing? This will play in. A lot of really good stuff. Eli is up on top ropes. Knight grabs him. He grabs the arm, jumps down, hot shot in the arm, or hot shotting him onto the ropes, and then hits a hot cross off the top. Looked really good. Knight using a lot of power spots here, whipping Eli hard into the corners and stuff.
Mhm.
A lot of good. There was a lot of good wrestling in this match. Knight getting that huge spine buster at one point.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Um, so he at one point pulls the napkin out, Nate, and tries to use it to stop a suplex, but Eli does end up hitting him with a suplex. He can't stop it with him. I was like, gross. Uh, Knight pulls a lighter out of his pocket at one point, and tries to punch Eli, but Eli gets avoids it. Gets a flatliner for two. This is now where Knight successfully uses this gross napkin. As he's up on Eli's shoulder, he shoves it in his face, gets off the shoulders, and then has the lighter in his hand, punches him in the head, and hits a Death Valley driver neck breaker. Yeah. And Chris Knight is your winner.
The napkin was disgusting.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Like, nah, that's good. Disgusting. Like it. I did not like it. I understand it's part of his gimmick. It was so repetitive that it really was kind of it. At one point, he wandered by in front of us, and he was like, "What are you looking at?" And I'm kind of sitting there like, I was hoping you could tell me. Um, I realized today who he reminded me of. Do you remember the Disney movie, The Rescuers Down Under?
Mhm,
The one where they were in Australia? He
mhm.
reminded me of the fucking bad guy. Remember with the freaking lizard Joanna, which is
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
now all I can think is just him. He needs to start yelling Joanna. Even if there isn't a Joanna in the room, just start yelling Joanna. Do that instead of
Joanna.
yeah, do that instead of spitting in your fucking handkerchief. Ugh, ugh.
Yeah.
Also,
Interesting character.
maybe also get some help for the drinking problem. It's a treat and a joy to see Eli, though. I love seeing Eli. His wrestling is always very solid. He's always able to create a story kind of in the ring. I don't quite know what the story was in this one except for spit, but I mean, it was fun because Eli was there.
I think the biggest takeaway is that Australia is not real. Eli seemed to like it when we chanted that though, and Knight was very confused. But Eli laughed at it. He thought it was funny. So
Those
Australia's
are
not real.
funny accents. Maybe he couldn't understand us.
Nah, just it's has anybody actually been to Australia? Nobody. I don't
I
know.
would
I
rather
don't.
not. Have
I
you
don't.
seen the size of the common house spider? Hell
Yes,
the frick no.
but that's all a conspiracy to
It is
just.
what?
It's
What?
a giant conspiracy. There's no actual
No, the
giant spiders.
spiders are
Aus-
giant. It is not a
Aus-
giant conspiracy. The spiders are giant.
Australia's not really there. Come on.
You were Delulu and you're Cthulhu, my guy.
Yeah, my favorite tag team in New Japan is from Australia.
I was gonna say, are we forgetting Robbie Eagles? Are we forgetting TMDK?
Are we forgetting about Fale, who lives on an island just off Australia, New Zealand?
They are not the same thing.
Australia is not there. It's just New Zealand. It's just New Zealand. Australia doesn't actually exist. It's just New Zealand. Come on.
This man is gonna kill you now. It's been nice knowing you, Andre.
I feel broken inside.
In nomine Padre, Filii, Spiritus
We
Sanctus.
move on. Weston King with Gussy Jones versus
Yes.
Bobby Sharp. The return of Bobby Sharp to professional wrestling rings here in Alberta. I'm super excited. Bobby working that headlock early. Again, really good wrestling between these two throughout. I really
Mhm.
like. I think Weston is always evolving every time we see him, and Bobby is just. I've watched. I was talking with Bobby after the show. He actually trained with my friend Adam Blank, who does the Remember the Game podcast. He did wrestling training with Monster Pro Wrestling when he was like 18 or 19, and he trained with Bobby Sharp in that class. And I was talking with him about it. Bobby's been around since the early 2000s. This guy is just gets better and better every time I see him. This man is constantly evolving as professional wrestling. He's amazing. He's just amazing professional wrestler. Like he's come back from
Mhm.
2 serious injuries now and just he's better every time he comes back. I don't know how it is, but he is.
Is it two or three? I think it's three serious injuries now.
The 3 now. Like, but again, and he just keeps coming back better than ever. Like it's crazy. Um just really good matches. Bobby hitting a nice tope suicida to King on the floor at one point. Keeps those keeps those feet from hitting the rope too. Really
Mhm.
good. Good success there. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I love King. That torture rack bomb that he had that gets him on the shoulder and then spins him around as that torture rack power bomb.
Mhm.
So good.
So good.
Absolute perfection. Absolute perfection. These two are just again lots of good stuff back and forth. Bobby like hitting the triple German in this match, just looking smooth. He ended up hitting a sack driver for 2 at one point. If you don't know what that is, go watch New Japan. Uh,
where you can watch the New Japan World TV titles matches for free, where Zack Sabre Jr. was a primary title runner.
And hit some Zack drivers in there.
Nice cheap look. I like it.
Bobby gets a run off the top, follows it up with a spear, but it's delayed on the cover. And as the ref's counting 1, 2, Gussy is not sure, so he pulls the ref out of the ring. This is where Bobby ends up chasing Gussy outside, comes back in and gets hit with the full Nelson Slam, but King can only get 2. King misses a second rope moonsault. Bobby goes to the top, but as Weston is distracting the ref, Gussy hits Bobby with the crutch. King pulls Bobby off the top into his full Nelson Slam for the win.
Yes. Yes. I love the perfect combination of Weston King and Gussy.
Mm-hmm.
It's the peanut butter jelly time, you know? Where are you at?
Where yet?
Was hoping you'd catch on to that. Yeah, and what I really, really like too is that the little stories and the perfect story, the perfect manager story that Gussy is able to help tell in this story, it adds a layer to whatever Weston is going into. If it's just a pop-off match that they're throwing together in the back, the addition of Gussy helps create a story. And because again, there was really no build going into this, it was nice to have that little story of frustration there for Bobby to kind of focus on with Gussy and the Golden Crutch.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a novel. It should be the title of like an epic trilogy. Gussy and the Golden Crutch. Brilliant.
Well, the thing is, like, I want Weston King to always have a knee injury. He needs to make this his Bob Orton. Like Bob Orton, that cast was on for decades.
Yeah.
He has to have a knee injury for the rest of his career, always needing that crutch. That is a beautiful, beautiful story to have and tell with your character.
Yes. And then just to add on, I do really also appreciate just the natural charisma that Weston King really has, especially with being a heel and interacting with the crowd. The more they boo him and antagonize him, the more he just like has fun yelling at them and doing his thing. And it works so perfectly. It creates this awesome character that I get excited to see when he's announced on the show. And then Bobby, again, as you mentioned, coming back from injury, it's just so nice to see him fresh again and ready to go. And that like the last time we kind of saw him was him coming off of that feud with Andy Anderson. You know, I'd be curious to see if these two have any kind of antagonism going forward again, or if this is just going to be just a once-off for Weston and Bobby.
Yeah. So post Mitch, Weston cutting a promo, talking about his championship, about his briefcase, and he's going to be a top talent wrestling champion, and he's gonna do it with a broken frigging knee. And who decides to ruin the good times of Gussy and Weston King? And it's one American hero. He's not even Canadian hero. He's not even he won that. It's like, really, does he matter to Canada? Like, really? It's Kurt Angle. One of the greatest wrestling characters of all time. Kurt Angle.
Agreed.
And I think earlier, before this show, I said, I really hope whatever Kurt does, it's with Weston and Gussy. I said that. I wanted to see an ankle lock on Gussy with this gut flying around as the ankle locks on. That's what I wanted. But Kurt comes out. Weston says, starts berating him, saying, "What have you ever done?" And I'm like, well, a lot. Like, a lot.
Like,
and then
get out the Jericho list.
And then just deck. And Kurt Angle's not having any of it. He just decks Weston with a lariat, and Weston and Gussy go running to the back. Kurt Angle then gets on the mic, thanks the crowd, and says we're one of some of the best professional wrestling fans in the world, and says, "Look, you ready to have more of a great show?" And yeah, I was pretty much it. That was it for Kurt Angle on the night. But man, the show was supposed to start at 7, didn't start till 7:45 because the meet and greet lineup went till 7:45. because that's how many people wanted to meet Kurt Angle. And they opened at 5 for this.
Yes, we arrived at a little after 4. Well, most of us did. A little after 4.
I was working.
Yes, and you brought food.
I
Side
did.
press accepts. Because the food situation is always a problem at Midway. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. It was so great. I wanted to note just how happy Kurt Angle looked, just doing what it was he was doing in the ring. It was like watching Hamna.
Yeah.
Just how happy and joyful he is to be in the ring, just doing something. It's the same vibe. They're the same person. It was phenomenal. Just a smile you couldn't wipe off his face. It was great.
Yeah. It really was. So we move on to women's tag match. It is a no, and the announcer did say that it was going to be a no DQ tag match, which until the end of it really didn't play much into this match.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I
confusing,
think Payten has new gear here.
Yes, she does. I love it.
I really liked it. I noticed that during this one. I'm like, she got new gear. I like it.
Yeah, especially like the little kind of like clown cut tassels, like on her knee pad, and then also on I think it was the top. It looked really cool. I like the color scheme. It matched the vibe that she has going with Rylie. I like it. It's overall good.
Yeah. Again, there's some good back and forth in this match early on. Ava getting that running knee to the face of Payten, just right at dead center, just cracking her in the face with that knee. Looked really good. Ava dodged out of the corner at one point and hits a code red on Payten for 2. Cat's in with Rylie and hits these combination strikes, dropping her, and then hits then picks her up and not drop it, combination strikes into that Samoan drop by Cat for 2. They do, and then Cat and Ava hit this wheelbarrow twist of fate combo. Yeah, that to Rylie, and I really liked it. I really liked that.
It was really cool. Yeah, very creative.
Yeah, kind of cool, fun little move. Payten fights off a double team, hits a pump handle suplex to Ava. Looked really good there. Cat hits a power bomb to Rylie, then drags Ava to her corner. Then just drags Ava over to the corner, gets out, tags Ava from the outside, and gets back in. I'm like, yeah, that's how you do it.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do in desperate times, right?
Yeah. Cat does like that, just grabs Rylie off top, tossing her, and then Ava and Ava and Kat are going for a double suplex to Payten, or to Rylie, but she flips over into a double neck breaker. Payten comes from the outside with a trash can, goes to the top rope, puts it over herself, and dives out. And I thought Payten was going to kill herself here.
Yeah, it was very.
Because it came down.
This guy does that at WWE, right?
Oh my god, I'm so scared because she dives out cross body style with a can over, so she can't see shit. And then she's like goes into the crossbody, and then the bottom of the can, which is where her head is, starts going towards the bottom. And I'm like, oh no! And like it caught Cat at the right angle that it didn't go crash. She didn't go crashing head first in the can into the mat, but it looked insanely painful on that dive. Holy, I was scared.
And especially because Cat's like right leg took the brunt of that, particularly from the knee down, and like that's very, very dangerous. And we did notice Cat favoring that knee leg for the rest of the match. It's like, girl, I get, and okay, take us into the end of the match, and I'll say my shish.
Ava ends up drop kicking the can into, because Payten's like in the corner, seems kind of dangerous, holding the can. And Ava just runs up and drop kicks her into it, or drop kicks it into her. Rylie then tries for the Blade Runner on Ava, but Cat stops it, hits a snuff pile driver for the win.
I gotta be completely honest. The beginning part of this match lost me. It was a little slow getting into it. Again, if you don't know, the story behind Rylie and Payten. You might have been a little confused as to why Payten was directing Rylie into the ring for their intro and stuff. But yeah, it took a while for me to get back into the match, and I actually took the trash can spot. At that point, I was reinvested in the match, which is weird for me because again, I'm not a big hardcore kind of weapons kind of person, but like when they're done properly, I appreciate it. This was done properly, at least in my opinion of what it properly is as close to in a hardcore kind of situation. But yeah, I was also worried about the dive. Again, Kat taking it pretty rough on the leg there, and Payten seeming a little, well, obviously dazed. She dove to her head in a metal trash can. But that shotgun drop kick was also super, super, super stiff. And actually, did you notice it crinked in the can pretty good? And Payton struggled a little bit to get it off because you would. It's just the physics of it. It works. But yeah, otherwise, it was a nice little showcase for the ladies. But yeah, like I said, the first part of it, it did drag for me a little bit, and I did kind of find myself a little distracted until the trash can spot.
Yeah. And after the match, Payton just kind of standing over Rylie, who's kind of laid out in the ring, just looks at her and just leaves. So, like,
Mhm.
where does this leave Payton and Rylie is the question.
I don't know. That's a very good question, but I am curious to see how it develops the character
Hmm?
of both of these women. Is Peyton going to maybe punish Riley a little bit at the Calgary show and maybe have her work, like if they end up in a tag situation, maybe Riley's going to end up working the whole match as a punishment or something? Or are we going to see the puppet master kind of be a little bit more aggressive herself? Are we going to see a little bit of an emergence of some anger, maybe some rage coming out of the loss here? I don't know. I'm curious to see if there's going to be any character development because there definitely could be. There's so many cool and interesting ways that they could take this. I'm curious to see if they take any or just go to the next show.
Or does the puppet master cut the strings and take out Riley Rose? What is
Exactly. Exactly. There's so many ways, like I said, that you could take that. Does she sick Ryan on Ryan Rayden on Riley?
who's
Ryan?
Ryan?
Ryan. Change her name. Uh
Ryan the Destroyer. That
Ryan the Dist. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh, did she sick Ryan on him? I guess we'll have to wait and see if there is any development made on this or not. And what does this do for the relationship of Capron, Heez, and Ava? Are we going
yeah,
to see them start tagging a little bit more? Are we going to see them go against each other to kind of prove dominance? I guess we'll have to see.
yeah, be interesting. We
Mhm.
move on to one of these featured bouts on this show, Harlon Abbott with his Pope gear. Rolling out with his big old Pope hat and his Pope robes now. That he debuted in that
Please
video of
say
him
it.
of the Pope Harlon Abbott murdering other Harlon Abbott. I don't know. It was interesting.
He
Holy
was
crap.
Dick Togoing himself in a church of all places.
Yeah. Mortos. This man is
Yeah.
impressive. Like just when he
Yes.
come around the ring, I was like, oh my god, seeing that mask up close, I was
He's
like,
so big. Yeah.
and the dude is jacked as hell, in incredible shape, man. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So his chops. We talked about you were talking about Fusion's chops. Like he has that Lucha style chop. So this
Mhm.
is Fusion, who's but double the size and just cracking the hell out of Harlan. And like
And the
so,
Mexican chops too.
Mortos
Oh,
Mortos cracks Harlan. So Harlan comes back and hits him. And I was just like, what was that? In comparison to what Mortos just did to him, I'm like, what was that? Come
you,
on.
you want to know what's funny? I actually have that on video. but I don't have you saying what was that. You can hear it very slightly, but we said what was that at the same time.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Lots of flippy, dippy in this match between both of these men, just flying around. Harlon keeping up with Mortos here, like it was very impressive, very impressive. Combination strikes and kick by Mortos gets him down into that Sabre neck snap, then falls up with a snap power slam. He gets a big spear for two. Harlon getting Mortos to the floor and hits a tope suicida. Looked really good. Harlon gets a coast to coast drop kick in the ring. So huge Samoan drop by Mortos. He goes up, but Harlon enzuigiri's off the top. He gets a superplex, follows it with the pile driver, but he only gets two. That tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Mortos, like the tilt-a-whirl into the torture rack and then bang down into that backbreaker.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
Yeah. Or sorry, tilt-a-whirl into the torture. Then he followed up with he follows it up with a power bomb, but over the knee.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so good too. Just
Who do we know who also does that? There's someone in New Japan who does that.
Josh Alexander does it. I know that.
I feel like it's David Finlay.
I don't know if I've seen him do it over the knee, but I saw Michael and Richard Clarke did it to Son of Irish back in 2019 at the Clandestine Society show.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that distinctly because that little boy just getting broken over that man's knee.
Think of the children.
Pop up Samoan by Mortos, which is pop up into the Samoan by Mortos is reversed into a crucifix driver by Harlon, but he only gets two. Harlon goes up 450 splash, but again only two. Harlon goes back up, goes for a frog splash, but Mortos gets the knees up, then picks him up, spins him up, picks him up, spinning him into an Omega driver, which is, again, this is a video game term. It's what that spin into the pile. It was like a spin into a pile driver. It was called the Omega driver in the old WWE games, and Mortos gets the win.
So good.
Yeah,
so
that was insane.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I kind of I like the new look that Harlon has. It's just so weird that every time he changes his entrance gear, he has to off himself. He's got the worst conflict of character I've ever seen. But hey, I mean, keeps his personality straight, right? Can't have too many. I did not like the in-ring gear though, the singlet that Abbott was wearing. It looked a little large on him. It looked like it was bagging out in weird places. Just the color scheme with his skin tone didn't work very well either.
It was the silver, right? The silver or the green didn't really work, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was like a green and gold. That thing on the chest area was like a gold almost.
But the back was silver. The back was silver though. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see it through the braid a lot, but I also noticed that I'm going to sneeze.
Why was that funny? Why is this funny to me? Why is your sneezing funny?
I don't know. But and there was a little belt, a sparkling belt that he had on the thing too, that there were just weird gaps in the belt. It was in the front and the back, but not on the sides. And again, just the way it was loose in certain areas, it wasn't particularly flattering on him. But the performance was great. I really enjoyed the match. As you said, it was go, 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 go from the hop. I mean, was this the match where he tripped him? Or was that the triple threat? I think it might have been the triple threat where someone actually jumped in front of the feet to trip them, and they actually tripped them. I think it might have been Weston. I think it was actually the last match. They managed to trip. But anyway,
I don't remember the spot.
I don't either. I had a great time with this match. Again, this was actually Beast Mortos was actually the selling point for me on this because, like, as cool as it was to see Kurt Angle, I had no intention of going to the VIP meet and greet. Sorry, sir, but just not my vibe, not a thing for me. I would have definitely loved to meet Mortos though, but it was just a really cool experience to see him wrestle live and from the front row. Watch out for the hole.
It's always about the hole with you, isn't it? Why did I say that?
I don't know.
Well, you guys are always yelling about a hole. You guys are always yelling about the hole at the show. So it's all about the hole with you guys.
And Fusion almost fell in it when he did that tope. So
that is true.
Yeah.
Mortos ended up in the hole after the
Yeah,
Super Suicida. He rolled over and kind of like dropped himself into the hole. It was pretty funny.
And you're trying to give me shit about it.
We move on. Triple threat match. King of the triple threats. It is Dalton Rogue defending against Kody Garcia and Jabari. Everybody hitting moves, flipping in and out of each other's moves early on. Kody hits a tope suicida to Dalton on the floor, then gets right back in, goes and hits one out the other side to Mo on the floor. Dalton getting his huge tope con Gila at one point to Mo and Kody on the floor. Just crazy stuff in this match. Dalton with those PKs to Kody were just crazy.
Yeah.
Dalton getting dragon sleepers to Kody and Mo in the ropes. Mo just snap power slamming everybody. Rebound suplex on Kody onto Dalton. Which is that like the suplex, you bounce him off the rope and then lands him on. Mo goes to the top, hits an elbow off the top of Dalton, but then Kody breaks up the pin. Just Mo sends Dalton out and hits a plancha. Then he just goes over to the person, just a couple people down from me, and just takes their drink and drinks it. And I'm like, ew, for one. You don't know where their mouth has been. You don't know what's in their mouth. You don't know anything. Why would you drink a random person's drink? Ew. And two, you just stole a person's drink. That's not cool. Now they don't know where your mouth has been, or what's in your mouth. So now they can't drink their drink. So on two levels, man, what the hell? Don't steal people's drinks.
What do we always say, Andre? Don't you put it in your mouth?
Don't you put it in your mouth? Like Chris Knight stole a lady's bottle of water in his match, but he didn't drink it. He poured it into the hat and then threw the water at Eli. Like it's not like he was drinking it though. Like just come on, man. Like but still, don't steal people's drinks. That's not cool.
Of all the things.
So Kody has Dalton up top, man, and he hits the Frankensteiner off the top. But Dalton front flipping, landing on his feet, but gets super kicked by Mo. Then Mo super kicks Kody out of the air on his Os Cutter attempt. Just crazy stuff. Kody does come back at one point. He hits a double Os Cutter out of the corner. That was great. Kody hits a swanton off the top to Mo for 2. And then Dalton comes in with a springboard forearm to Kody for 2. At the end of this match, though, Dalton ends up putting Kody up to the top, chops him in the back. Kody fights him off, and fights off Mo, but Mo stops a cutter attempt. Kody goes again for the cutter, but Dalton ends up like sweeping his legs out and like he goes crashing into the corner, and his like feet are over the second turnbuckle. So Dalton like pushes down on Kody's foot, making him like sit up, and he goes over to do that double stomp that he does to like a tree of woe hanging Kody. But Mo just like comes up and just hits him, knocking Dalton to the floor. And he hits that's inverted suplex, like cutter style move to Kody. But then as he gets him in the sharpshooter, Dalton comes in, but then Mo lets go of the sharpshooter and trips Dalton down, gets him in the sharpshooter, rolls it over, and almost immediately Dalton taps out. I was so sad here. Good for Mel winning winning the King of the Triple Threats, but I was sad because I'm a big Dalton Rogue fan. I'm a huge Cody Garcia fan, so I was like, oh, come on, keep it on Dalton. Boo! I was booing Mo as during a celebration, even when he was like standing in front of us. I'm like, boo! I don't think he
Oh, is
appreciated
this
that.
why he was bullying me after the show?
He was bullying Dalton after the show, the jerk. And I had to stick up for Dalton after the show. So
Oh,
quick note.
again, so this is why he was bullying me?
So I don't know why he was bullying you, but you were cheering for him, so I don't know why he was bullying you.
Yeah.
I don't know why people do what they do to you when I'm the one being an ass, but
Boys, why do you do what you do when Andre's being an ass? Go after Andre.
and girls, boys and girls.
And girl. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Uh,
So just before we get there, so of Mo Jabari's bullying, I went and spoke with Dalton after the match, and he said the only reason he tapped out so fast is due to his 3 broken ribs, is what he told me. So it was he said it wasn't fair. It just wasn't fair that Bo would put him in a sharpshooter when he was that injured, and I don't think that's that fair. When you know a guy's injured like that, don't put him in a sharpshooter, man. That's not cool. Win it fairly.
Jeez, Mo.
Win it
What the
fairly, Mo. Come
hell?
on. And then
How
and
dare
then and
you?
then Mo comes over wearing his title, going man, yeah, man, like just being a dick to Dalton because he's wearing his title, and Dalton's just like looking at him like, meh. And I'm like, hey, stop bullying Dalton. He goes, I'll bully you. I'm like, no, you won't. And then he walked away. And then he went and bullied you, I guess. So
Yeah, I just had to remind him what happened the last time he tried to bully me at the RCW show and he almost met my foot. Any hoozles. You stole the only thing that I had, which was the spot at the knee that you forgot that I told you about, you dick. That's all I remembered.
I have it written down here.
Bullshit.
I do. You'll never know.
Bullshit.
You'll never
You
know.
pretty much, no, you said verbatim what I fucking told you, you dick. Oh, like pretty much verbatim. What's up? Just so Dalton knows. It was me who noticed that detail, not you. Jesus. Oh, but we had a lot of fun with this match. I've always enjoyed the simmer down there, sir. Simmer down. The triple threat matches are like the scramble matches in LPW for me. I look forward to them the most because it's going to be this glorious chaos that just all makes sense. And this was no different. I was very happy actually with the change. So originally, this was supposed to be Tommy Billington in place of Cody Garcia, but I think we got the better match with Cody Garcia in this than we would have with Tommy. Tommy has a tendency, as good of a wrestler he is not a crazy speed wrestler. He does like to slow things down a lot. And I feel that any kind of excessive slowdown in this match would have been a detriment. I feel that this kept the pace going. It built up from the last one. And yeah, it went into the perfect kind of closeout for me because this was my main.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought incredible triple threat, and yes, I stole Mel's bit there about the foot thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Main event time. It is Andy Anderson and the love of Mel's life, Mitch Clarke. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, we did it. And always remember, when it comes to Mitch Clarke, you got the violent tips, he's breaking hips, and he's holding all of the championships. Taking on Gabriel Lestat and Big Jesse Youngblood. Again, I thought really good match here. Mitch and Gabriel are fighting early. Andy comes in, gets pounced out of the ring by Jesse, and then people are fighting, and then Jesse and Andy get back in the ring, and I guess the match now started then. I thought the match had already been started, but I guess the match only started after that. I was very confused. I thought the match had already started. again, lots of good back and forth in this match. Andy and Mitch really dominating early on, effectively using the tags to work over Jesse, keep him away from his corner. Good, like again, good tag work. Like Andy putting his knee up in the corner when Mitch running Jesse's face into it, running into the corner. Again, good, effective tag work there. Mitch distracting Jesse up top so Andy can attack him, and Andy actually hits a Frankensteiner off the top for too. I was like, oh, the one person I didn't expect to hit a Frankensteiner in this match was Andy Anderson, because like Jesse, for as big as he is weirdly agile, and it's really not fair. Where Andy is not the one I thought it would be hitting a Frankensteiner in this match, but he did. Looked really good. Andy and Jesse both meeting with Larry, and they collide with that double running cross body. Gabriel does get in, hits teardrop suplexes to both Mitch and Andy, fighting off the double team. Hits a corner enziguri, goes to the apron, sweeps the leg, and hits the combinacion cabron to Mitch Clarke in the corner. Mitch ends up stopping a Destino, hits a knee, then follows it up with a power bomb, but Jesse comes in illegally with a spear, puts Gabe on top of Mitch, but Andy does make the save. The true valiant heroes make the save. Gabriel hits the Death Valley driver to Andy. Mitch runs Jesse into the post, reversing the Jesse driver on the floor, and then hits a spindly bindly on the floor, or the Ledwig Van driver, as it should be called. Gabriel, they're in the ring, and Andy gets Gabriel up for his Razor's Edge, what I like to call the camel toss if you're talking about Sheik, but then just pulls him down into this freaking Drillakilla style pile driver, and I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. But the ref won't count the pin because Mitch is the legal man. Andy gets him back up, goes for the Razor's Edge / camel toss, as I like to call it, but it gets reversed into a Hurricane Rana by Gabriel, and Mitch comes in, and Gabriel scores a Destino for the 1, the 2, and the 3. So I very much feel like we're going to finally get Gabriel versus Mitch Clarke one more time at the Christmas show, because I just feel like that's because after the match, Gabriel did hold up the title, indicating that he wants another shot. So it looks like that. I feel like it looks like that we're going for Top Talent Wrestling Saves Christmas 3.
I mean, it doesn't seem like he fights anybody else, so
No.
may as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to see Mitch after the show.
We did. Violent tip touches from Mitch after the show. And didn't you tell me you ran into one Ben Uman who gave you a violent tip touch?
Yeah, before the show outside.
There you go.
Outside.
There you go.
Yeah, right before the main event, actually. It was nice.
There you go.
Yeah. I even got my Ben hug.
I got mine last weekend.
Braggers.
That's what I do.
Mine was wanted, though.
Come on, you know he wants my hugs. My hugs. My hugs. What the hell? I did not mean for that. If anybody heard that music, I very much apologize. I opened my Yahoo Fantasy app and it randomly just started playing music for one of the ads that it has in there. I don't know why that happens. I was trying to do my hugs, but to my
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, you were.
Really was weird.
Yeah, your theme music for that just came on. Yeah. Weirdo.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah. So I think Top Talent isn't going to be here in November. It's going to be in Calgary, but we're back in December for the Saves Christmas one. We had a fun little poster for that. Sort of.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, I like that it's green and then has Gussy holding just a bag of cam.
Well, it's Gussy's promo photo, but he's got a Santa hat on in it.
I love it. It's so funny. So funny.
Oh, jeez.
I would have preferred to see Gussy Claus though. Like bad Santa Claus, you know?
Oh my god, no. We need Weston Claus and his head elf, Gussy. Gussy the elf. We need Gussy the elf is what we need. And we need Weston Claus and Gussy the elf.
You heard it here, folks. Anyway.
Oh, that's
What
what
a
we need.
fun show to look forward to. We're still not sure. We're humming and hawing on this one because they haven't made an announcement if they're having a guest or anything. They usually do.
Yeah.
At the show, they didn't this time, probably because they're ramping up for the Calgary show and they're gonna have the guest announcements for that first, I guess. I'm hoping that we get announcements for it, longer than
A
a
week.
week before the show. That
Yeah.
would be nice. But yeah,
And
we're still
also
on the
time
fence
of
about
time
this
of
one.
year. It's only about a week and a half out from Christmas. So again, I don't know if I'm gonna have the time to take off for this show. That's the other half
I
of my issue
mean,
with the show.
remember the other one a couple years ago? It was like a few days before Christmas. Come on now.
It was December 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting show in my case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was certainly not one of my favorites, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see. We'll see what they have for announcements going forward on this one. And if we'll decide to go to it, because at that point we wouldn't have LPW because LPW's last show was in November,
Mhm.
which we are not going to.
No, our last show for LPW will be this coming week because we are conflicted. We already are going to the CWE show the same day as LPW because they have to move their show due to a scheduling conflict. So yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, so sorry, LPW. Not sorry. I'm going to be happy where I am.
yeah, yeah. Me too.
um, yeah, I think for different reasons. But yeah, let's take it into the outro, my friend. What do we think about what did you feel about the show overall?
I had a good time. It was a really enjoyable
Mhm.
show. Some really good matches in it. Some really fun time. Like again, what really stands out. Harlon and Mortos had an incredible match. That
Mhm.
3-way was just phenomenal. Just some really good stuff on that. 5-way was really enjoyable in everything that happened. It's again really good show overall, in my opinion.
Mhm. Mhm. I agree. I agree. I enjoyed it. I mean, we were talking a little bit. I've enjoyed other shows from Top Talent in the past more, but the show is really finally starting to hit a bit of a stride.
Mhm.
In that, like the staff at Midway, that the food's a little all over the place. But like in regards to the organization and security and stuff, things seem a little bit, at least at this show, from what I could see, it seemed actually pretty stable, pretty organized, didn't have any problems getting back in and out of the area. Once I checked in with like the security guards about like where we were, they let me kind of go in that little corner kind of area that
I
we
didn't
were
even tell him.
at.
I just went in. I just went in that corner. I just went in.
Well, Kat and I were respectful. We went up to the guy. We told him we have our bracelets, but we are sitting at that corner where we don't want to bother anybody, so we're going in the corner. He was like, "Cool, have fun." Yeah, but all the staff that I interacted with were very polite, very nice. They kind of found their stride. Um, I get that, like, why they're there, but man, for the 5 photographers that you have running around the ring, could you maybe find some time, busy schedule, to maybe try filming some backstage shit, either before, during, or after the show?
Hmm?
Just a thought there. Could you spare one in the back there to do some shit and just figure out something? Because like, I don't like the Omen, but the story with him and Mitch is one of the only solid stories that they have going, and they've done barely any fucking anything with it in regards
Hmm?
to promotion. Like, what the fuck? This feud has literally been going for almost a year.
Yeah.
You you want to tell me you can't do shit to build that up? Make people interested in your champion. Because your champion is somebody worth talking about. That's supposed to be the best person in your company. God damn it, it's Mitch fucking Clarke. It's the best fucking person in that company. Show it off. Show off your champion. Show off that belt. That's a nice fucking belt. Take it places. Show it off. Be proud. Be proud of the product you have. Because honestly, like, production wise, venue wise, certainly, and I hate to say it, a step up from RCW's venue, right? Because it's a nightclub essentially. It's an organized club venue that is supposed to be showing, all kinds of things from music and stand up and all that stuff, like other concerts, other shows like this. So, there's no reason why you shouldn't be sensationalizing these things. You're missing a massive opportunity with just doing just a little bit of work. It's not that much. Just a little bit. Just a nugget. Give me a salt lick to get me to the next fucking show, please.
Well, speaking of that, you can find me on the X at that Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada D. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. Our YouTube page, youtube.com/Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. You can also find us over on A Plus Productions on the Facebook page, where you can join in and join with an incredible group of people just chatting professional wrestling, and APlusProductions.com to get the RSS feeds for A Plus Sports, A Plus Entertainment, and A Plus Wrestling. You can also find me over at twitch.tv/Our Local Establishment on Twitch and YouTube at Our Local Establishment. You can find me there this Wednesday, where I'll be talking Agatha all along, most likely at about 8:30 Mountain Standard Time, 10:30 Eastern. Me and Ed gonna be talking episode, I think, 7 of Agatha all along. So be there or be square.
Episode 7?
Yeah. No, square.
Anyway.
And then you could also find us. I want to thank a big shout out to Mike the Ref for simulcasting all of our stuff. YouTube.com/@backbreakervideo. You can see all his live gaming content and his AEW watch alongs, twitch.tv/Mike the Ref, and the replays of all his great gaming content, youtube.com/@backbreaker_game, where you can find content from him, Mr. PGC, this wee little dude right here, this wee little man, which is, I can compare this to him, but that's wee little man, which is, and their frequent guests.
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. We love Kayla J here.
Yes, we do. Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can find her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment programming, Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy, every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Unless it's not. And then we'll let you know on social media. We are going to be pre-recording Japanese Wrestling Update again this week because, as we mentioned, we are going to be going to the LPW show where we're going to be seeing Blake Christian. I remembered that it's not Christiansen, it's Christian.
All heat.
Yes, excited. I'm so excited to see that. So we will be pre-recording as mentioned, and it will be released at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. You can also find me on Astro Bazaar's YouTube channel where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We're hoping to do record an episode for you guys on Thursday sometime. But if we cannot get our guests down, we will be doing it on a different day. But stay tuned to our socials to see when our next episode is coming out. If you're wanting to watch some Top Talent Wrestling, you can go to their website, toptalentwrestling.com, to get tickets for the next event, whether you be in Calgary, whether you be in Edmonton. Sure that the links for both are going to be on their website now. If you're also interested in being a professional wrestler, a manager, or referee yourself, you can check out Top Talent Wrestling School, where you can hopefully get in touch with them and get some more information on how to get started on that journey. What else? What else with Top Talent? Oh yeah. If you're wanting to watch any of the previous episodes, of Top Talent, you can get access to them on the Triller Plus network, right? Or is it just Triller?
They have 3 of their events are up on Triller Plus for I think it's $7.99 American per month.
$7.99. So almost 10 Canadian. Almost.
Actually, $9.99 Canadian per month.
So that's pretty much 10 Canadian, yeah. Shadow Sean Spears. But yeah, so you can catch all those 3 episodes on Triller there. Yeah, catch those on Triller. That's all. That's all that is. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague. You have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank you all so very much for all the great support here. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to share us out to your friends, family, and all those that and anybody from a different generation that you are. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello. We did it.
Yes. And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Mwah.